the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on VOP TV. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television. Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is African News on Voice of the People Television. We don't just bring you the news. We analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
To know the happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on VOP TV as we discuss key areas in the maritime sector, from aquaculture, maritime transportation, maritime labor regulation, oil and gas exploration, ferry and passenger insurance, marine pollution and prevention, port operations, and lots more. Maritime Frontiers, exploring Nigeria's blue economy.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People Television, where your health has a voice.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand.
VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
A sky-high secret. We're diving deep where most dare not to look. Aviation Scope, every Sunday at 7 p.m. only on Voice of the People TV. We don't just report, we reveal. We don't just ask, we uncover. Because when it comes to the skies, ignorance is turbulence. Aviation Scope.
In a world where power shapes with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing. And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world, because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
Mr. Familoni, and here's to VOP TV. Keep watching, stay tuned, do not touch that dial.
My name is Made Kuti, and you're watching VOP TV. Keep watching.
Welcome, my name is Zika Davis. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, boys, viewers, everybody, boys and girls. This is VOP TV. Do you know what that means? Voice of the People TV. You don't have a voice, don't come here. You better make sure your voice is heard.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 26.
Welcome on board and welcome to the program. It is People's Voice on VOP TV, where season story shape the narrative. And of course, today we'll be dissecting a major story that is dominating the headline and sparking conversation across the nation. Rivers State under Tinubu's control. I believe you all actually saw what happened yesterday. You know, you all heard the news as regards to the president, being a mediator and of course, asking the two men to actually shed their swords. But let's see how this particular situation will turn around in the coming days. Join the conversation with experts inside this perspective. Share your thoughts with us. I am Xavier Udo. Let's look into other stories with details. NLC TUC suspends protests in Abuja after meeting with Wike. The Nigerian Labour Congress and of course Trade Union Congress have directed their members and every other workers working with the FCT capital territory that actually came out, as regards to whatsoever, their grievances were, sometime last week. And they were actually saying that they wouldn't, stop this particular strike, this protest. And don't also forget that we saw a particular footage where they were actually pursuing, the FCT minister while he was, driving off to meet up with the president at the airport. But Wike had a meeting with, the leaders of this particular union, and the peace was made. And I don't know whatsoever the agreement was, but of course, after the meeting, Senator Muhammad Bumoy, which is the chairman of the Senate Committee on FCT, resulted in several resolutions, including the withdrawal of all outstanding cases at the National Industrial Court, an assurance of no victimization for workers who participated in the strike. So I think at some point we're actually happy with this particular situation. But it is looking like Wike is actually getting out of this particular situation, handled or sorted to Wike in Rivers, Wike and Fubara, Wike with the APC, Wike from the national wing, Wike with the FCT workers and all of that. But guess what? It is looking like all of this is getting sorted out, gradually. So let's just hope that Wike will get a soft landing. Away from that particular one, Tinubu's foreign trips yielding investment for Nigeria, says the APC chair. The All Progressive Congress, the APC national chairman, Professor Nantawi Yuatda, has said that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's foreign trip yielding a tangible economic benefit for Nigerians. He also said that over $50 billion in foreign direct investment commitment secured. And he also mentioned that the president's trip saying they are strategic engagements that have boosted Nigerians' global partnership and attracted significant foreign investment. He urged Nigerians to support the administration's effort, noting that a dividend will be felt across the economy. All right, quickly, before I go on with the news story, with the remaining news story, I'd like to quickly go on a quick break. As soon as we return, I'll take the remaining news story. You don't go anywhere, please. Stay tuned. I'll be right back.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, It's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe. Hunger no get religion.
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television. Don't just react, understand. Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I, from social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more, tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count. It's awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.
In a world where power shifts with every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
Back to the program. NBA president calls for time frame for resolving legal disputes. The president of the Nigerian Bar Association, Mazi Afam Asigwe, SAN, has advocated for a time frame for resolving legal disputes, citing the success of time-bound judgment in election petitions. Asigwe made the call at the public presentation of a book honor of himself, noting that the current judicial system is plagued by delays, leading to lack of public confidence. He emphasized that the need for a unified front and, of course, involvement of government, legislature, judiciary, and media to drive reforms. Asigwe also defended the NBA's right to criticize the system, of course, and stressing that such criticism should lead to workable solutions. He called for internal accountability within the legal profession and expressed concern over the dwindling public confidence in judiciary. All right, I love the fact that this is coming from the NBA, president, because we've actually said this over and over. We want the NBA to be totally independent, away from the executive arm and, of course, the legislature, so that they can decide, on what, and they can actually, preside over different cases or judgments, and we won't feel as if there is any iota of bias in any of their judgments that has been rolled out. This is all we're saying. We're not saying that, getting gifts from anybody is wrong, but when it is looking like inducement is our problem here. When it is looking like politicians are actually getting them, to their coffers, that's where we have issues. You will remember that a certain political party in the same country has mentioned and has written to, the highest court in the land that, please, we don't want this particular judge in Abuja to always preside over our case anymore because it doesn't turn out well. And they know the meaning of this particular one. And that particular judge is always at the end of a particular man's affairs that is also making, news on a daily basis in the country. So when it gets to a situation like that, where we feel we're not getting enough transparency, what do you expect from us? So we want you, and your body, to actually do better. And I love the fact that this is coming from the NBA president. So we'll just look forward to having a good judicial system in this country. Anyway, from that particular one, APC exploits opposition disunity ahead of 2027 election. As Nigeria approaches the 2027 general elections, the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC, is poised to exploit the disunity within opposition parties. The APC has unveiled its election roadmap, while major opposition parties, including the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Labour Party, and of course African Democratic Party, are struggling with internal crisis and leadership disputes. The PDP is embroiled in multiple leadership disputes with rival factions claiming key offices. And of course, the Labour Party is also going through the same leadership crisis, with Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, recognizing a faction led by Senator Esther Nadi Usman as the acting national chairman. And of course, the ADC, which has emerged as a key opposition platform, is facing internal headwinds, including postponed world congresses and a rivalry between supporters of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and former Anambra State Governor Peter Obi. The opposition disunity has led to defections to the APC and, of course, further weakening the opposition chances in the 2027 general elections. The coalition of United Political Party, the CUPP, has warned that opposition party risks political self-deception if they fail to unite and present a credible challenge to the APC. This is all we've been talking about as regards to every opposition party. It is looking like everybody just wants power. Everybody, just wants to become president, by all means. And that's the reason why it is looking as if the same house is dividing against itself. And if a situation like that happens, let's just forget it. It would only give APC a soft landing. If you want to, create a coalition, you have to make so many decisions and agreements, and putting forward one person, and everybody rally around the person. Otherwise, whatsoever that is going on, and this one is saying I want to be president, this is saying I want to be president, then let's just leave it. For now, it will still look like child's play. But that's what will happen in the coming days. But don't forget that election is just around the corner. 2027 is not that far anymore. PDP, a formidable party, not charity organization, says Nyesom Wike. The Minister of Federal Capital Territory has actually stated that the People's Democratic Party remains a formidable political force in the country and not charity organization. Wike made the remarks at the 105 National Executive Committee meeting in the party. Of course, this was actually yesterday. According to Wike, the party's current challenges do not diminish its strength, and members should not view it as a charity organization. Forget the idea that PDP is a charity organization. PDP remains a formidable political force despite its current challenges. PDP is too strong, very strong. We must capitalize on what we have and move forward, he stated. Wike urged party leaders and members to remain vigilant, noting ongoing attempts to destabilize the PDP. He expressed confidence that such efforts would fail, saying they would not give up until they believe you are destroyed. But I will not be destroyed. You will not be destroyed. Let us move forward. The party has also fixed March 28 and 29, 2026 for its national convention in Abuja, where a new national working committee and other statutory organs will be elected. I don't even know how to feel about this particular one, because it is looking like a Game of Thrones now between the both factions in PDP. But let's see what will happen in the coming days. Electoral fraud is a crime, says Adams Oshomole. Former governor of Edo State and Senator Adams Oshomole has condemned electoral fraud as worst crime in a democracy. He emphasized that vote buying and manipulation of election results undermine the will of the people, warning that those involved in such practices face penalties, including jail term. Oshomole stated that existing electoral laws provide clear sanctions against vote buying and result manipulation, applying to all parties involved in electoral malpractices. He stressed the importance of electoral integrity, saying it is central to democracy's value. The senator's comments come as Nigerians' electoral reforms ahead of 2027 general elections face delays, sparking concerns about the polls' credibility. Right? If this is coming from Oshomole, then let's actually watch out for more. Wike declares interest in Oyo PDP, vows to protect party. Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has declared his interest in the affairs of People's Democratic Party in Oyo State, citing his commitment to party survival and success. Wike made this known while addressing, of course, the attendees at the PDP's 105 National Executive Council Committee meeting in Abuja. The former Rivers State governor emphasized that his concern for the party's well-being is driven by its past governance at the federal level. Wike also dismissed allegation of intimidation, stating that recent court rulings have weakened such claims. To join the conversation, kindly call the number 09044732605. Follow us on social media at VOPTV Live. You can use the hashtag People's Voice on VOPTV, and of course on YouTube with Voice of the People TV. Kindly hit the subscribe button, and together we can make our voices heard. It is time for us to go on a quick break. As soon as we return, we'll take in the first conversation here, and which is the only conversation except my guest analyst would like to just respond to any of the news stories. Rivers State under Tinubu'S control. You don't go nowhere. Stay tuned, please. I'll be right back.
Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is African News on Voice of the People Television. We don't just bring you the news. We analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
From the views on the streets,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lawn.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor.
Welcome back to the program. It is still People's Voice on Voice of People Television. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has intervened in the escalating feud between Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his predecessor Nyesom Wike, directing Fubara to recognize Wike as the political leader in Rivers State. The president's intervention comes after months of failed settlement and threats of impeachment against Fubara. Tinubu also directed Wike to halt all impeachment-related actions against Fubara and for both parties to work together towards stability in the state. The peace deal includes a recognition of Wike's candidates for upcoming by-election in the states. When I'm being joined by Nwoye Chijoke, Associate Political and Social Analyst, and of course a corporate consultant joining us from Canada. Hello, Chijoke. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Xavier. How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you. I know you wouldn't like this topic because you're really against Wike. But before you say anything, I would like to also bring in the other guests. Also joining us, we have Honorable Tokwe Abdulrazak Balogun, AA Party Lagos State Governorship candidate for 2023 Nigerian general elections. Hello, Honorable.
Good evening. Xavier, good evening.
Good evening. You're welcome on board. How are you doing today?
I'm good, fine.
All right, so
Nigeria.
All right, so I don't know if you actually heard any of the news stories I took, if you wanted to respond to that before we go straight to the main conversation.
Oh, well, I heard some of them, but I think it's just the regular news. Let's go to the main conversation because that's the hottest thing.
It has gotten to a point where we just read our news now. We just call it regular news. I understand what you're saying. I know the pain. I know how it feels, but it's okay. Let me start off with you as regards to your position with this situation. You know, you agree with me that so many people have actually made different speculations as regards to Wike's situation in Rivers State. Some were actually saying that Wike was losing on both sides, from the federal level, and of course, he was also losing in Rivers as we speak. But yeah, it is. Don't forget that when Bwala made that statement that Fubara is the APC leader in Rivers State and not Nyesom Wike, everyone actually expected that the presidency would caution Bwala, and some actually said that was, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's speech. For him not to have even cautioned him, that means that that's also the president speaking, But after a few weeks, this is what the president is saying now. And I remember that, of course, of a few of my guest analysts that have actually graced the show, I told them, I said that in as much as Wike is not in the APC, I don't think President would want to, put Wike under the bus for anybody, because Wike has actually worked for him in the past, and they still need Wike's, help. And I said that I believe Wike is still holding the political structure, regardless of any party in Rivers State. And so many people actually, were against that statement, that they said, no, when once a particular governor have moved to a party, is now the political head. I said, I understand. But when it comes to Rivers State's political dynamics, you would agree with me that some things are not normal in that state. But what is your take as regards to this particular peace broker that the president actually, done as regards to him saying that, oh, Wike, hot whatsoever impeachment situation that is going on, and for Fubara recognize Wike as, the political head of this particular state. What do you have to say as regards to this?
Well, for every rule, there are some exceptions that must be identified, understood, and appreciated, especially in a democracy like ours, where godfatherism cannot be overlooked. You can't take it away from Wike that he is the leader of Fubara and he is the leader of APC as it is today in Rivers State. Before now, we had people in APC that were original members of APC from inception, people like Otinamechi, His Excellency, Right Honorable, and some other major stakeholders. They were all in APC. But you saw the turn of events when they started breaking the original APC into factions. And a particular faction we are aligned with the current minister of the Federal Capital Territory. And you can read in between the lines. For anybody that wants to be meticulous and be sincere enough with the structure, the political structure that is directly linked up with the present leadership of APC and the presidency aligns more with Wike. That is why he gets almost everything he wanted politically. He has that dexterity politically to maneuver. And he's standing as the leader of all the major parties in that state. So you can't take that away from him. Just like Ashadu told them at that meeting that, are you assuming or stating that while Sanwo-Olu was the governor of Lagos before he became the president, and Sanwo-Olu had ever been his own leader, even though he was the governor? He has the same thing of Ampo, he has the same thing, and that explains it all. That no matter how, and eventually there's this crisis here and there, and for me, it's a win-win for Fubara. The major person that has gained most in all this imbroglio is Fubara, because he eventually had the opportunity to create a niche for himself, no matter whatever percentage of political like this, or decision that is to be taken in Rivers today, they will count him as a standalone group with his own people, whatever percentage they are giving to them. There is no winner takes all in this situation, where at the end of the day, Wike will not dictate to him. He has a level of freedom. But then, you can't take it away from Wike that he is their leader. He is their leader. I personally don't like what is happening, but the reality must be faced.
Honorable, yes, talking about your reality, I think I would beg to differ as regards to you saying that he has some sense of freedom or even has freedom. Do you know that there is an implication now with that presidential statement? Now, if you are saying that he has freedom, and the president has instructed Fubara to recognize Wike as the political leader in Rivers State, do you know what that means? And I believe you're a politician. So it means that he's back under him, regardless of whatsoever. Wike will still have to call the shots.
You see, calling the shots in a situation where it will be 100% shots, and in a situation where it will be broken, which one will he take? It's either he loses it in totality, or he takes the share that is big, because the truth is everything is working against Fubara at the moment. If you want to face what our democracy has been structured to look like, you can't have all the House of Assemblies working against. If you look at what happened in Lagos, I want to use that just like as a similitude to what is currently happening at Rivers. We had the case of Obasa. Everybody in that House of Assembly wanted him out, or most of them wanted him out. And tacitly, we understood the body language of the state governor too. But in the long run, you see what eventually happened. In fact, if the state governor had not possibly had people begging on his behalf and the likes, he might be impeached. It doesn't take, see, people that designed the political structure are designed in such a way that some people can manipulate the system if they have the larger majority or people are the legislative arm. And that is why Fubara's case is something that he cannot just sit down and say the president has not saved him yet again, like he saved him in the first instance. We are not in the military era. It's not an issue of might here. It's an issue of what the constitutional provision has made. If he had had the majority as the House of Assembly, legislative and having a majority number supporting him, he may say, yes, he's standing on his 2 foot, he has a feet to stand on, 2 feet, and he can say, yes, as I am, I can go all out against the establishment in Rivers State and still stand his ground. If you look at all those governors that had successfully went against their godfather, or let me say people that brought them on board, they first made sure that they had a majority part of the House of Assembly supporting them. And that is the only way out for them to establish their own hegemony. Else, they will be rubbish, they will be impeached, and nothing, heaven will not fall. See, at the end of the day, the larger political interest of the president is to get Rivers to support him in 2027 election. And if you understand what we call interest in politics, anybody can be the sacrificial lamb. Anybody can be the sacrificial lamb.
So are you saying that Fubara is the sacrificial lamb here?
Well, Fubara taking it on, acting as the number one is what he had to sacrifice. He is going to eventually taste governance, possibly for the next 2 years. And you see, the president was very tactical that 2027 should not be discussed now. Things can still go either way because everybody is still working towards that time. But as at the moment, if Fubara did not seek the support of the president, and the president is not magnanimous enough to call them together, they just went into chaos, and at the end of the day, according to the law, the Wike faction would have won. We are not talking about the person that is right here. We are talking about the person that has the power to outwit the other person. It may not be fair for the governor, but then this is politics. And the politics has to do with the instrumentality of politicking. If you can use them to your own advantage, use it to the maximum. And that is what is playing out in Rivers State. And I think if Fubara wants to be sincere with himself, he knows that he is not having that advantage as at the moment. And I think this is the best thing that can happen to him. As for now, we don't know what will play out tomorrow. Okay. You know, it is tactical that he had to decamp to APC. If he had not decamped to APC, it would have been worse for him by now. It would have been very, very worse for him by now. So it is still tactical. And I believe he and his team will always sit down to look at what is going to happen to them in the nearest future. Even in 2027, you may be surprised that he may even leave the APC and contest under any other platform that will be willing to give him the opportunity to challenge the status quo, so that at the end of the day, we'll be even having more power and to outwit Wike in entirety and call the shots eventually as the possibly next governor of the state. But as of today, what he has, for me, politically, is still beneficial to him and his team. They are not outrightly, but they are not having that total power to wield as the incumbent governor. However, what are the things that are left to actually determine? When the president already said the House of Assembly by-election that is going to be coming up should be ceded to Wike's candidates, even though those Wike's candidates will be fielded under APC. So what is there to be shared? It is clear that they are giving him that edge because they don't want the president's interest to be disrupted. The president is not, as of today, is not 100% sure that he's going to cruise into victory in 2027. And the truth is, many of us are opposition and are going to be in opposition and are mobilizing people against his presidency. Okay. So he knows what is at stake. Okay. And you have to bring both of them together. I'll come
to the situation of you being an opposition, and of course, what your party, and the likes of other opposition are actually, putting in a structure. But let me go to Chijioke. Hello, Chijioke, are you there?
Yeah.
Chijioke, are you there?
I'm here, Xavier. Yeah, I'm here.
All right, so Chijioke, I just like I said you were not going to like this particular news because I know you don't also like Wike at all. You don't even like that name. Because I remember the last time we ever had a program, like the last time we talked about Wike here, you said so much. And you also mentioned, you made several assertions. You said that Wike was already losing and Wike will soon lose totally, But in a turn of events, the president just said that Fubara should recognize Wike as the political leader in that state. You know that the implication of that particular one. And not only that for the candidates of Wike to be recognized for the by-election. And I believe you know what that particular one also means. So it means that everything is just working back in the favor of Wike. So how would you actually, respond to this whole River State political saga?
All right. Thank you very much, Xavier. First of all, just like you said, I don't have any personal love for either Wike, Fubara, or even the president himself. No love for them all. But this has to do with my country, and this not also has to do with the politicians, which we are paying through the taxes that we pay, to represent us well. So what they do is our business, and we will try to say what we have to say about it. The last time we talked, I told you that, yes, that Wike is losing in both sides. And that is why he needed to come back to River State to do what he was doing, to show that Tinubu that he's still in charge. Remember, I said that too. And you see, seems like the impact of what he did is so enough, that the president had to say what he said. But you have to understand that what the president said is just word, just like so many things that he has been saying. The president has said so many things, and which you and I can either agree if it is right or wrong. But you need to understand that Wike played a very essential role for the APC during the last election, and which is what? Destabilizing PDP and then causing confusion in River State that made APC had the upper hand in River State. And of course, Tinubu wants that kind of person, so he will have to do anything possible, to make sure that kind of person is still active. Sorry about that. But just like I told you, Tinubu is the owner of APC. This is not just to recognize his candidates. Yes, recognize his candidates. That's a win, but not a total win, because at the end of it all, at the end of 2027, we decide who wins and who loses. But the game is on. Tinubu, who knows who is the master of the game, needs to keep playing the game. Both of them are winning. Fubara also, the impeachment that was going on that made his government shaking. Tinubu also told Wike to stop the impeachment. So you see, he didn't actually did anything. He just allowed them to keep on fighting, keep on dragging. And that is what is going to happen. You recognize Wike as the political leader. That doesn't mean anything. It's just showing a former governor a respect that he deserves as a former governor. It's a normal thing to me. So it doesn't really mean that Wike had the upper hand, because at the end of it all, Fubara is still not being impeached. So Fubara still has time to, gather his feet strong and do whatever he needs to do to maintain his seat. So at the end of it all, everybody is winning. Tinubu is winning. He has Wike under control. He gave him what he wants. He still have him under control. Fubara is winning. He gave him what he wants. He still have him under control. So you see, the master player, who is the godfather of them all, is still winning. And that's just the what I need to say about that. But now, which is the main point, is the people of River State. Because at the state, whatever that is going on in River State, they should know that they are the one losing. Whether Fubara wins, or whether Wike wins, or whether Tinubu wins, they are the one losing. For the past 2 years, their elected governor has not been able to work, or have not been able to do anything meaningful in their state because of one man. I don't know how you guys want to see it, but Wike has no reason whatsoever to be dragging or fighting anything with the elected governor of River State. He was once a governor. He has done what he needed to do, and then it's not that he doesn't have any job. He's for crying out loud, the minister of FCT. He needs to focus on his job, but instead, he's dragging with your governor, making your state unstable. So you people, the people of River State, has to decide whether you need to keep allowing these people to keep messing up with your state, or you need to make your stand and tell them what to do, because you elect these people to work for you and not the other way around. The Wike is not supposed to be telling you people what you're supposed to do. You're the one losing. Your future is at stake. His 2 sons are graduate in abroad, and he's setting them up. His life is set. His 2 sons' life are set. He's driving a Rolls Royce, and he also bought a Mercedes, living a good life. And you people are the ones suffering. So wake up and decide that you should stop allowing these politicians, stop allowing them to keep playing politics with your life. Thank you.
Chijoke,
yes.
If I may ask you, I understand the fact that you're calling on the people of Rivers State, and of course, they are the one on the receiving end, whatsoever that happens with the political gladiators, of course, it is Rivers' economy that would also face it, because so much has not been done in the state for
nothing
how
has
long
been
now?
done, nothing.
So, but
nothing.
if you're actually calling on the people of Rivers State, what are you asking them to do exactly at this time? Because if you look at the whole situation now, the same person that you feel is their governor presently is also looking for a way. If you ask them, what would they be doing at this moment?
First of all, you need to understand that Fubara wasn't supposed to be in this position if not that the people of Rivers State left him alone on the battlefield when this struggle started. When
what
he
would
was
they have
under,
done?
If they had come out in masses, you see, the numbers, how many are they? Wike is just one person with few persons. If they had come out in numbers in solidarity with their governor, we support you, our governor. When the federal government sent declared a state of emergency in their state, if they had come out in numbers and stand against it, how many? What is the worst that could happen? That has not happened. This is what it means to have the people recognizing their power. When you come out and tell the government that we don't want this.
Chijoke,
I can hear you.
When you are using the statement, you say when they come out in numbers, don't forget that the same Wike has the same numbers, or if not even more. You saw what happened over the weekend. You saw the rally Wike had again. Wike was in Rivers State.
Now
you saw the crowd.
These
are also people of Rivers State.
That is the point. So who is losing at the end of it all? It's still the same people. The people need to know what they want. If they want Wike to keep deciding what is the fate of their future and the future of their kids, that's their business. But they need to understand that Wike has no right. If I'm not going to sound biased, I'm not going to sound disrespectful. Wike is supposed to serve them, not them serving Wike. And Wike has done its 8 years. They're supposed to know that this man has nothing to offer them other than to control them and then do away with him. But Fubara is not doing his own part. I don't know if he's just relaxing, but he needs to also ginger the people because Rivers State, and this brings us to the big problem that we have in Nigeria, which is poor education. Our people are not educated because if the people are educated, I don't think they will be following Wike or Fubara the way they will be following. They will just have to come out and decide on themselves. But of course, we are in a state, in a country where we allow these leaders who of course they are smarter than us, decide our fate, and we're not doing anything, and we're all losing. So that is why I am saying this to the people of Rivers State. If they will listen to me, Wike has nothing to offer them. Wike is there to serve them, to serve their interests. They should tell Wike what to do, and which is to allow the elected democratic governor, Fubara, to work for them. Fubara has not been able to work for them because Wike is dragging his seat with him. Why?
Okay.
Wike wants a share. He wants a share in their budget. Why? Wike is not the owner of Rivers State. He is not the founder of Rivers State. He is not the father of Rivers State. He's just a politician. Okay. I don't want to use the word here.
All right.
And he's there to serve the people. So let him focus on his ministry position and being the minister of FCT. At least if he was doing his job as the minister of FCT, we shouldn't have had protests. We had people asking him to pay them what he owed them. It's not even that he's going to pay them from his own pocket, but to pay them from the government's pocket. But no, he's focused on dragging. The people of Rivers State needs to decide: are we going to allow Wike to keep playing with our future, not just their future, the future of their kids, their grandkids, their entire generation? Wike has earned a lot and possibly has stolen a lot in being the governor to set up his family and his next generation. So he doesn't care about those people he carried around. He doesn't care about them. And why is he carrying them around? Because they are not educated. They are not enlightened. They don't even know what they want. Sit these people.
All right,
down,
thank you so much, Chijoke.
They don't know what they want.
All right,
so
thank you so much, Chijoke. But just a disclaimer there. That was allegedly. You wouldn't just call someone out on national TV and say they have stolen a lot without you having evidence.
It's allegedly. Sorry for that.
No problem. But please, I think that particular statement should not even make it to the media. All right, sir.
I
Quickly,
take it back. I take it back.
All right, no problem. Thank you very much for your hot submission. You are even sounding more like a River State person, as if you are actually from that place. But it's okay.
That these leaders do, it just pisses you off and makes you say
no
things
problem.
you're not
Let me
supposed
come
say.
to Honorable. Honorable, are you there? I'd like to get your concluding thoughts. Hello, Honorable, are you there?
I'm with you.
All right, Honorable,
with
you heard Chijioke venting as regards to a wicked situation. But don't forget that I actually said I was going to talk about, the exploitation that APC is actually doing with the opposition party presently. And of course, to also ask you, what are the structures put in place, by the opposition party to go head-to-head with the ruling party? Because if you look at the whole situation, if you look at the whole ball game, you would agree with me that every major political opposition party, as we speak, are having internal issues, and it is not really making sense. It is not looking good for the 2027 general elections. I don't also know what your own party has been doing, but if they continue like this, I don't know. So, but you have to actually, mention one or two, and of course, also propose some solutions that you feel that should be the right structures to go against the APC. I would just want to take this in 1 minute as wrap up the show. Please go ahead.
No, it is not something that we should really be freaked about, because there is no political party in Nigeria at the moment that is not factionalized. And I think those that are top-notch politicians can read in between the lines. And that is why some of them are just jumping that boat to go into another political party that can save their mandate for them. You saw what happened in Osun State, even as an incumbent governor under PDP. The man, Adeleke, Senator Adeleke, had to go to accord to keep his hope alive. And it is a deliberate action by those who know politics that there is no way there is no fifth columnist that is representing the interest of somebody that has a political interest in 2027 to keep up the destabilization, so that at the end of the day, it will be an easy win eventually. Else, it will be very, very difficult for them to stay through with what they are been able to do so at the moment. Because at the moment, they can't point to anything that they can talk about. What they have done to the masses to deserve a second term. So it is something that is glaring, that you can't take that away from that some people are involved with the ruling party to cause what we have presently. If you look at many of the political parties, like 17 or 18 that we have presently, it is only APC that cannot have what do you call faction or problem with their structure. All other parties have problems with their structure at the moment.
Honorable.
So, and this is something that has to be looked into deliberately. So, for me, I believe all those people that are top-notch politicians, they have seen this, and they are going to work it out. I am part of people that have been clamoring for coalition, and in some days or months' time, you will see me becoming very vociferous about what the coalition should do and what they should be working, and we will be doing it, some of them practically, so that it can eventually spread.
All right,
and
thank you so much.
We can go headlong to fight the status quo for the masses' interest.
All right, thank you so much, Honorable, for being part of the show today. And thank you so much, Chijioke, for being part. We'll press for time. This is how far we can actually go on the show. Thank you so much for being part. I just hope that we would actually have another time out here on air again soon, all right? This is how far we can actually go on the show. Don't forget that the views and opinion expressed by our analysts are solely their own and do not reflect that of VOP Media. If you love the world of sport, I'd like you to stay put to enjoy Locker Room coming up next. Of course, you would enjoy more programs from them. And don't give up, because it is not over. Tough time doesn't last, but tough do last. Whatsoever your face will soon be over, and you will definitely smile again. My name remains Savior Udo. Have a good evening. Rest.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Apeon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m.